Hello and welcome to Movement with Laurelle, hosted by Wild Wandering Creations. I'm Laurelle and I'm going to be leading you through your practice today. Today we're moving through a slow flow. It's a rainy day here and I thought, why not create the perfect practice for when you want that movement but you want to move just a little bit slower. So you can go ahead, get into some comfortable clothes. I recommend having at least one block. If you don't have one, no worries. I'll offer a variation, but I am going to be using a block in the practice today. When you're ready, you can go ahead and find your way onto your knees, sitting back on the heels, resting the hands on the thighs. If you would like, you can close down the eyes, soften the gaze, and offer yourself a nice deep breath in and out. And start to settle yourself in the practice today. And start by relaxing the muscles in the face, the forehead, the cheeks. Release any tension in the jaw, allowing the lips to part slightly, and allowing the tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Seeing if you can soften the shoulders and soften into the shape just a little bit more. We're going to take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart, and we're going to move through a 4-count breath. So it's quite simple. It's a 4-count inhale and a 4-count exhale with a pause in between each one. If the breathing technique is not working for you today, leave it and just continue breathing in your natural rhythm. When you're ready, we'll breathe in for 2, 3, 4, hold the breath, and exhale for 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause. Last round here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1, pause. Slowly return to your natural rhythm of in and out, and seeing if you can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose if that's available to you. And starting to ignite that ujjayi breath, that nice slight constriction in the back of your throat, sounding like an ocean, in and out. When you're ready, gently release the hands on top of the thighs. If the eyes are closed, you can gently open them. I'm just going to turn my position just so that you can get a better view of how I'm moving today. And you're just going to start to settle with the hands on top of the thighs. Relax through the shoulders. And you're just going to slowly start to take the hands to the shoulders. Taking the elbows out nice and wide, and you're just going to slowly start to roll the shoulders forward. Just a couple times, nice and easy, nice and gentle. And then we'll take them back. Roll it all the way back behind you. All while keeping that breathing in and out. And you can start to switch the direction, moving in one way, then the other way, until eventually we find some stillness and hold there. I want you to slowly turn the body over towards the left, and then slowly turn towards the right. Take your time here as you move, nice and slow, one direction, and then the other direction. Keeping that breathing, keeping that focus, allowing yourself to be fully present here. And last time over towards that right side. And then you can slowly come back through center. Release the arms alongside the body. You're going to sweep the arms all the way up, and you're going to come high on the knees as you reach up and lean slightly back. As you exhale, I want you to sweep those arms all the way back behind you as you settle down, coming into a traditional child's pose. Forehead connects to the earth, arms fall alongside the body. On your next in-breath, rise up, reach the arms, come high on the knees, lean back. Exhale to release the arms down, fold forward, tuck the chin in towards the chest as you come into traditional child's pose. Inhale, sweep it up. Reach the spine nice and tall, find that little baby back bend. And then take the arms all the way back. Come into your traditional child's pose and hold here. Letting the arms settle, maybe rolling out the forehead a few times here. And take a nice deep breath. And exhale, side out the mouth, let it go. Slowly roll up through the spine. Keep that chin tucked in as you start to roll up. Let the head, neck, and shoulders come up last. And then release the arms down the back. Fingertips press the earth as you lift the gaze and draw the jawline back. Slowly begin to walk the arms forward in front of you, coming into a tabletop, and you're just going to slowly release the knees back so that you can start to come all the way down towards the belly. Fingertips come up nice and wide. Let the fingertips spill off the mat. Inhale here, press through the tops of the feet, wide arm cobra. Slowly release down towards the earth. If you want a little bit more space, you can take the feet just a little bit wider. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to roll it down. One more just like that. Lift the chest, roll up through the spine. Bring the gaze forward. And release. Let it go. Hands slide underneath the shoulders. Hug those elbows in towards the ribs. Press through the tops of the feet as you come up through a tabletop position. Take the knees underneath the hips. Hands underneath the shoulders. And you're just going to start to circle out through the body. So circle one way. You can really exaggerate these movements. Keep it moving in one direction to start. And then let's switch the direction to the other side. Finding any movement that feels good. Seeing if you can exaggerate it just a little bit more. Don't worry about what you look like. Just pay attention to how it feels. Alternating between directions a few times. Breathing here. 3, 2, and 1. Come back through center. Reformate that tabletop position. Tuck the toes. Press through the tops of the feet as you find downward facing dog. Start to have a slight bend in the knees here. Seeing if you can bring those heels a little closer to the earth. Let the head get really heavy. Give it a shake no. Give it a nod yes. And then we'll start to crisscross the feet towards the top of the mat. Take your time here. Move nice and slow. Feet come underneath the hips. You can take a nice wide stance here. Soft bend in the knees. Inhale, find your length. Hands find the shins. And release forward. Let the head get heavy. Grab opposite elbows here. Give that generous bend in the knees and just find a little sway side to side. When you're ready, find some stillness. Let everything hang heavy, seeing if you can release a little bit more tightness, a little tension. Let the weight of the head go, and then release the hands. Hands find the shins, halfway lift. Release the hands and step that left foot all the way back. Gently release that back knee. And you're just going to start to heel toe that right foot off to the side. You can untuck the back toe. We're going to come into a lizard pose. So you can start to step that foot nice and wide so that the hands come to the inside of the right foot. Nice generous bend in the right knee. Now you are more than welcome to stay here, high on the hands, or if you have the space, you can start to lower down towards the forearms. If you are somewhere in between there, you need a little bit more height, this is where that block comes in really handy. So you can go ahead and bring that floor a little bit closer with the block, and then maybe start to come down to the forearms. We're here for a little bit, so start to close down the eyes, if that's available to you, or just soften the gaze down towards the earth. Find some nice, full, deep breaths here. Noticing if there's any tightness or tension being held somewhere else in the body, maybe in the face, maybe you're clenching through the jaw. This can feel quite intense, so just noticing. One more full breath here. And then if you are on those forearms, gently finding your way back to the hands, and you're just going to start to angle that right foot out just a little bit more towards that right side. And you're going to take this right hand and you're going to start to gently press the inside of the right knee out. So you're coming onto the outer edge of that right foot. Start to bring your gaze over the right shoulder. Really press into it. You can stay here. This is a really great place to stay. Or you can start to reach that right hand behind you. Maybe bend into that left foot. Grab a hold of the left foot. Bring the heel in towards your seat and lean into it. We're breathing here wherever you are for 5. For 4. 3. 2. And 1. Gently release that foot. Try not to slingshot it back. Let it gently release. Right hand comes back to the inside of that right foot. And you're going to start to bring that foot just a little bit closer, keeping the hands to the inside of the right foot. Start to tuck through the back toes, lift up through the back knee, and you're going to step that right foot back, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Let that head hang heavy. Start to crisscross the feet towards the top of the mat. Fold forward here. Let the hands find the shins, halfway lift. Release the hands and step that right foot all the way back. Gently release that back knee. You're going to start to slowly heel toe that left foot out towards the side. Both hands to the inside of that left leg. Now this is a completely new side, so depending on how this side feels and how open it is, or maybe how tight, you could stay high on the hands. It doesn't matter what variation you took on the other side, or you can start to come down to those forearms. Again, props are available to you. If you're almost reaching the floor and you aren't quite there yet, use the blocks for support. Seeing if whatever shape you're in, you can keep that spine nice and long and you're not crunching through the shoulders. So we're not trying to force anything. We're just trying to get a little deeper into the stretch. So find that variation. Soften into it. Soften the gaze. Maybe close the eyes. And breathe for 3. For 2. And 1. Let's start to pull that foot out just a little bit wider. If you're on the forearm, start to come back to the hands. Right hand is going to plant down as you take that left hand and you're going to take it to the inside and press that knee out towards the side. Open up here. Bring your gaze over that left shoulder. This is a great place to stay. This is one of my favorite shapes. I love to just kind of press that knee out and create a little bit more space here. But you can also reach that hand back. Maybe bend into that right leg, grab a hold of that right foot, and pull that heel in towards your seat. Gaze can fall over that left shoulder. Allow yourself to breathe into it. Notice where in the body you can soften a little more. Notice where that tension is lingering. One more deep breath here. And slowly release. that back foot, trying to release it nice and gentle. Slowly bring that left hand back to the inside. Bring that left foot just a little closer to that left hand. Tuck through the back toes. Lift up through the back knee. And this time you're going to step that right foot forward. Fold forward here. Let the head hang heavy. Slowly start to roll the body up. Keep a nice soft bend in the knees as you start to roll the spine to standing. Move slower than you want to. And let the head, neck, and shoulders be the last to release up. Take your time. And then roll the shoulders down the back. Allow the arms to fall alongside the body, coming into a nice, strong mountain pose. As you arrive in your mountain pose, notice how you're feeling. Notice where the mind is. Seeing if anything's wandering. Seeing if you can pull it back to your practice. When you're ready, you're going to reach the arms up. And you're going to take that left hand towards that right elbow, letting the right hand fall behind you. And then you're just going to gently press the top of the right foot behind you, press into it, and find a little stretch in the toes. Breathe here for 3. For 2. And 1. Release that right foot back beside the left. And then gently release the arms back up towards the sky. Bending into that left elbow, let the right hand find the left elbow as that left hand finds the upper back. Start to step that left foot behind you and press into the top of the foot, feeling a little stretch in the toes. Noticing maybe which side feels a little tighter. Maybe which side has a little bit more opening. Find your breath. Breathe for 3. For 2. And 1. Step that left foot forward. Release the hands, reach them up towards the sky. Interlace the hands and press them up. And then round through the spine. Press the backs of the hands away from you as you round, soft bend in the knees. Just moving like that. Press the palms up, lengthen, little lean back. Round through the spine, press the hands away. 2 more just like that. Lift up. And round. Last one here, lift it up. And round it out. Start to sweep the arms all the way up. Release the hands. Pull them all the way back behind you. Interlace the hands here. You can lift the arms away from the low back. Step the feet a little bit wider. Soft bend in the knees. And fold forward. Reach the arms overhead. You can find one bend in the knee, one bend in the other knee. Just starting to kind of pedal it out, explore. And then release the hands towards the earth. Hands find the shins, find a halfway lift. And then release the hands, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, and then lift the hips up towards the sky, downward facing dog. Soft bend in the knees here, reaching the heels towards the earth, seeing if the shoulders can pull away from the ears. On your next in-breath, lift the left leg up, deep bend in the knee, open up through the hip, and find 3 big circles with that left knee in one direction. And then take it the other way. Straighten through that left leg. Once you complete those circles, pull the knee forward. Look to the inside of the left wrist and pull that left knee down. Release the right leg. Walk it back behind you. Open up through the chest here. And then start to slowly fold forward. You're welcome to come onto the forearms and stay there. Or you can stack the hands on top of each other and release the forehead towards the hands. A block comes in really handy here as well. You can slide it underneath the head. You can slide it underneath that left hip. You get to decide. Props are there as a support. We often look at our props and blocks and straps and all those things as a weakness, thinking we need the support. But the support is helpful. It helps us sink into it a little bit more. And there's no weakness in asking for support and seeking help. And it can be different day to day. Sometimes we need it, sometimes we don't. One more deep breath here. And then in your own time, starting to press the hands into the earth. Tug through the back toes. Step it all the way back, downward facing dog. Find your shape, and then lift that right leg up and back behind you. Deep bend in the knee, open up through the hip. Let's find 3 big circles in one direction. And then move it the opposite way. Straighten through that right leg. Pull the knee forward. Look to the inside of the right wrist. Let that knee land. And start to walk that left leg back behind you. Open up through the chest. And then start to fold forward. Either onto the forearms, onto the hands, or onto a block. Let the gaze soften here. Maybe the eyes close. And start to check back in. How are you feeling? What's present in the body? What's present in the mind? One more full breath here. And then start to press into the hands, slowly push up. You're going to put all your weight onto that right side. Start to swing the legs forward in front of you. Make sure that that block is close by to you if you're using one today. And then you're going to slowly start to ease your way onto your back. Letting the knees start to rise up towards the sky, soles of the feet ground down, and letting the arms fall alongside the body. Bring those heels a little closer so that you can just graze the back of the heels with your fingertips. Press the palms into the earth. Press the heels into the earth. Start to tuck the tailbone up towards the sky. Lift the hips. Find your bridge. Just as slowly from the top of the spine, I want you to roll down, letting that tailbone be the last thing that releases. Find that nice natural curve in the spine. And then we'll move like that 2 more times. Start by tucking the pelvis. Lift the hips. Start to open up. Press into the heels. And just as slowly release down. Really paying attention to that release of the spine and not just collapsing in the hips. One more time, just like that. Tuck the pelvis. Lift the hips. Press into the heels. Tuck the shoulders underneath you. And you can hold here. Maybe grab a hold of that block. Slide it underneath the hips. And let the hips land on that support. If you don't have a block or support, coming into constructive rest is a great alternative. You can stay here, or you can start to reach the arms overhead. Let the hips settle, and listen to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and so on. Noticing where you can relax a little more and allowing yourself to be relaxed in this shape. Not worrying about where you need to be, not worrying about where you were before. Just letting yourself be fully present in this experience. And we got one more full breath here. Feel the breath in its entirety. Maybe you can feel it move from the belly to the chest, to the throat, in through the nose and out through the nose. If the arms are overhead, gently release them alongside the body. Lifting up the hips just enough to release that block from underneath you and letting the hips settle down and finding that nice natural curve in the spine. Staying in constructive rest if it serves you, or coming into a final shape of Shavasana if you have the time to fall into it. This is where we end our practice. If you'd like to stay where you are for a few breaths, just press pause and allow yourself to settle. If you're ready to end your practice, you can take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a nice deep breath in, a nice deep breath out. With gratitude for our practice and with gratitude for our community, thank you so much for holding space with me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this slow flow. If you liked it, please leave me a comment in the section below. Give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.